When people looked at Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson, the perception was pretty straightforward. It looked like a high status, very well matched relationship. It looked like she had finally found the one. You've got someone who is visible, successful, and confident, and then a partner who appears publicly very calm, very grounded, and very attentive. And that combination, the public ate it up. People read it as balance. Hello and welcome to my channel. It's very, very nice to be back. Really nice to be back. I'm so sorry I took such a long break. I was supposed to be back a long time ago. A file got corrupted, then all this shit happened, and I just had absolutely no time to sit down and film, so I got a bunch of videos queued up. Brace yourself. We're a bit behind, but we'll catch up. The internet is not real. We only see like a small portion, and everybody puts their best foot forward on the internet. Even me, we all put our best foot forward on the internet. So, in my opinion, it's best not to idolize any relationship you see on the internet, because any relationship in general, for that matter, because you just don't know what's going on behind closed doors and how people actually feel within their relationships. Megan Thee Stallion is expressive, she's dominant in her space. Klay Thompson seemed more reserved and more steady. So naturally, it was interpreted as, oh, this works. From the outside looking in, it didn't look chaotic. It looked very much so intentional. It looked like we were watching a couple fall in love and prepare to be married and have children and live the fairy tale ending dream life that many women aspire to have.
I'm whispering because Clay is still in his food coma from last night. But let me tell y'all about cooking for my man and his family for Thanksgiving. Okay, so this is me getting my greens ready. I had them things cooking overnight. Right here, this is me getting my dressing ready. I do not call it stuffing bag because this is dressing. This is a southern thing. I was really nervous because I was like, dang, I'm really finna cook for my man and his whole family. I hope they love this because I got to show them that I really love their son. Okay, so then after that, I started getting my barbecue baked beans ready. And baby, let me tell you, ain't nobody seeing me on barbecue baked beans. And we took all the food over there to the Thompsons, and this is my dressing. This is how my beans came out. This is how all my sides came out. This is how my turkey came out. Mr. Thompson definitely said 10 out of 10. I could easily have on my own restaurant, but I didn't want to record him saying it because I was trying to be respectful. Okay, so then this is Clay. He is so ready to eat. He is tired of hearing me talk. I said, babe, what you thankful for? He said, girl, get to them it is. So then this is the beautiful view. This is all the decorations that I ordered. Everything came out so amazing, and I'm pretty sure everybody loved it. This is my plate. This is Clay plate, and he already knew food was 10 out of 10.
But with the age of social media, that's usually how these dynamics present at first. Because what people aren't responding to is the relationship itself, it's the image of it, the appearance, the moments that get shown, the idea of what they represent together. And once that image is established, people don't really question it. They fill in the gaps with assumptions. They assume that it's healthy. They assume the relationship is secure. They assume that the relationship is mutual. But perception doesn't require accuracy, it just requires consistency. So what Megan Thee Stallion later publicly shared about her relationship with Klay Thompson, it sent shockwaves through the internet because it shifted the idolized relationship and turned it on its head publicly. She described it as being due to cheating.
Stallion blasts Klay Thompson online after calling it quits with the NBA star over alleged cheatings, writing, "Holding you down through all your horrible mood swings and treatment towards me during your basketball season. Now you don't know if you can be monogamous."
To him mistreating her, not in like the sense where it was super abusive. It just seemed like she described him as having mood swings and having to deal with and tiptoe around those mood swings during high pressure seasons, a basketball season, etc., etc. Klay Thompson is a basketball player, if you weren't aware. And then apparently it all just snowballed into him not wanting a monogamous relationship at all.
Trust, fidelity, and respect are non-negotiable for me in a relationship, and when those values are compromised, there's no real path forward.
After she claimed he was essentially playing house with her, having her around his entire family, which is a very big deal if you know Megan Thee Stallion's story, because she doesn't have a family.
Lost, because I can't, I still, knock on wood, thank God, have my mother. And, there's no, I don't think you ever get over that. And it seems that you've persevered through that and a lot of other things.
She lost her mum, she lost her grandma, she lost her father. She doesn't have a stable immediate family anymore to rely on. So being given that through someone she loved, her partner, someone she saw and assumed she was going to do the rest of her life with, because again, their relationship looked very intentional. She seemed very in love, as did he, but again, perception.
In my life, I wouldn't be here without my mom. My mama was like a gangster rapper. I was like, when I get older, I really want to be like her. That's when I really started creating Megan Thee Stallion. I'm a savage.
Essentially, she was integrated into that family role, which created the image of something stable and committed to us as the audience, and apparently also her. And that's where the disconnect becomes very clear. Because once that post dropped, the same relationship that looked super grounded and super intentional from the outside is now being described as inconsistent, emotionally difficult to navigate, and was clearly built on rocky foundations. Allegedly, Klay Thompson has a history of cheating. He was a cheater, always a cheater. That's what I say. Cheating is never about the person that gets cheated on. It's usually a reflection of how the cheater feels about themselves. It's usually a reflection of their own insecurities that just ends up hurting everyone involved. If you've ever been cheated on, don't worry. It wasn't your fault. It was them. There was something wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with you, no matter what they say. I'm telling you, bruv, because if there was something wrong with you and they really didn't like you, why not just leave? Anyway, once she broke the news about the breakup, the internet was aghast because it completely fractured the image that we had of them. Intentional, calm, loving, emotionally stable relationship, the kind of relationship that a lot of women aspire to have, the kind of relationship that a lot of women unintentionally or intentionally live through. They see two people in love and a man being faithful and attentive and kind and caring to a woman, and they are like, yes, she's got a good one, finally. That means if Megan Thee Stallion can find love, I can find love too. A love like that, it's real, it's out there. And I'm not shitting on anyone for feeling that way. Oh, it's real, it's out there. Yeah, okay, great. But some people really aspire to that. Some people saw that as, I saw TikToks and tweets and posts talking about, oh, if they broke up, there's no real love in the world anymore. Child, every time a high profile relationship that we thought was perfect because they gave us a perfect curated shaved down version, a little snippet of their relationship to us that we just ran with and was like, oh yeah, this is perfect, this is great, this is amazing. Every time a high profile couple splits up, we get this bullshit. People took it. A girl talking about, I'll take the pain for Meg. Excuse me? Do you know her? I too have a soft spot for Megan, but you're taking it too far now. It's just whatever. When you put together the allegations of cheating, the allegations of emotional instability and having to tiptoe around his mood swings during the off season, right? When you put all of that together, it creates something that is much more familiar to an audience, to the internet. Something that many women and men see in their day-to-day relationships and day-to-day lives. It's not the movie kind of love. We don't get the movie kind of love. We kind of all get the one person sacrifices and gives everything kind of love. Do you get what I'm saying? So when people are seeing it's that kind of love, the people are aghast. They're like, what the fuck? What seemed to start with admiration, attention, consistency.
I have never dated somebody so kind. Like, this is my first relationship where I've ever been with somebody who's genuinely a nice person, and he makes me genuinely happy. Like, I just never dated somebody like him before, and I'm just grateful that he here by my side and he feel the same way about me.
Although we weren't in their relationship, it did seem like Klay Thompson was very much so in love with Megan.
Roses for my boo. I'm sorry I was late, babe. Damn it. I'm sorry. I thought I timed it well. Sorry. There's no excuse. Keep your knees quiet.
Keep my knees quiet.
Yeah, keep those still.
Okay.
There you go. Just
No,
like that.
sorry, my knees quiet.
Yeah. Just like that.
Oh yeah, it's hot as baby.
You gotta battle the elements. It's the
Why
sport.
you got me out here doing this?
This is gonna be a lifelong game. There you go. Not bad. Oh my. On pace for 82? I mean, ever since I've been in love, my golf game's reaped all the benefits.
Yes.
You can go.
He seemed very attentive, very caring, very forthcoming, right? They all are in the beginning, aren't they? Sorry, my bitterness is coming through. I apologize. I'm trying not to be too biased, but like, you see this shit all the time. Like, and it's not a man thing or a woman thing, it's a people thing. People always come and they put their best foot forward, right? Then the more human parts start to come out. We'll talk about that later on in this section. But it's always the same story where the person that was initially grounded and calm and loving and caring and attentive slowly shifts into somebody else that you don't even recognize anymore. And the experience stops matching the image entirely. As I said prior, the people were shocked, the people were outraged, they were confused, but first reactions, they don't usually stay there. They start to grow into something bigger, which in this case it did. Instead of the focus staying on his behavior, the ways in which he allegedly wronged Megan with cheating, with taking out his upset or stress on her during basketball season, by being cold or withdrawn or distant or whatever men do, bro. Instead of the focus being on his behavior and remaining on his behavior, the attention slowly starts to shift to Megan. Suddenly there's a rise in slut-shaming language. Her dating history gets reframed as a flaw. Suddenly everyone's digging in everybody's closet trying to figure out how this could have happened without, and how it took us all for a loop. How nobody saw this coming. And suddenly they're calling Megan ran through too much. They're looking at her fashion choices, her career, her past relationships, her past traumas, and they're saying, see, this is why men don't stay. And this started to replace any real discussion about what could have possibly taken place here, because we don't know these people. Even me, I'm making this video, this is just a theory. I don't know these people. Nobody does. But the internet was hell-bent on getting to the bottom of the issue, and so the internet became very divided. I am a Megan Thee Stallion supporter. Not her biggest fan. I don't listen to all her music. I just love her energy and the way that she presents, and I just fuck with the girl and the vibe she puts out. I like her. She's been through a lot, and I respect her tenacity and how hard she pushes through and for her to be as successful as she is now is a damn miracle. And I don't even want to say, oh, it's a miracle. She worked hard through grief, through stress, through the whole world hating her. She worked her ass off. I ain't never seen nothing like that before, and she don't get enough credit for it. But anyway, my timeline only showed me the Megan love. I didn't really see any Megan hate. It was only when I started seeing like the responses to the things that were being said about Megan from her fans and supporters and just general people watching and observing the situation. That's when I was like, oh shit, people are actually like blaming her for this? I was like, oh God, okay. And then I started doing research and I started seeing it for myself, and I was shocked, but I don't know why I was shocked. People are like that, aren't they?
You see, Megan Thee Stallion represents a lot of black women in the community. Some ratchet, some of them with toss-ups, 304s, multiple body counts.
I'ma stop that old bitch right there. Do you see what I'm talking about? He talking about multiple body counts. Number one, he's you old as fuck. Uneducated as fuck. When you go on to listen to what this bitch is talking about later on, he going to start talking about how black men leave a lot of broken homes, and it doesn't matter because as long as they get their bag up. This is a stupid motherfucker, and unfortunately a lot of people are stupid motherfuckers. Because what on earth are you talking about? Men vilify women for being intimate, which makes no sense to me because these are the people that they're being intimate with. How can you desire women and want to sleep with women and want to be with women and then vilify those same women for sleeping with you? Does that make any... None of this shit makes any sense. This old fuck.
Right? And when they heard this story of Klay Thompson coming in and swooning and swooping up Meg Thee Stallion, they thought they was going to be able to find them a Klay Thompson. But it don't work like that. Right? And then they say, oh, well, y'all black men, y'all got babies all over the place and baby mamas. Well, watch this, though. Here's the difference. If a black man got a bunch of baby mamas and a bunch of kids all over the place, if he get his bag all the way up, it ain't gonna matter to the next woman. She don't care about his body count. That's just simple as that. This stuff this meme right here, yeah, we care about this type of stuff. We care that you've been ran through by dude after dude after dude, especially certain types of dudes.
Who the fuck would you marry to make the stallion? What the fuck? You ever got with a girl that started playing in your future? You're just kind of going with the flow the whole time you're thinking, bitch, I'm just trying to fuck. Man, shout to Klay, man. That nigga probably started cheating day one, and I respect it.
At the same time as they are tearing Megan down for her past, for her traumas, for her being who she is, at the same time, you see men praising Klay Thompson for not being a simp. Which is very interesting because that wasn't always the story, that wasn't always the narrative. When he appeared attentive, loving, kind, gentle, and generous with Megan, there was criticism.
I'm still pissed Klay Thompson apologized for being late to picking up Megan Thee Stallion from the airport. His nigga was, oh, shucks, babe. Oh, shucks, babe. I'm sorry for being late. Nah, they want you to be soft like that.
When he supported his partner, he was criticized. Yet, now that the relationship has ended under these circumstances, that same behavior is being reinterpreted, and he is now being validated for pulling away from her.
It looked like to me that, Megan was just some work for him during the season to get him through the season.
Which just goes to show how quickly perception can change and how the story can be rewritten depending on the outcome, because now it's like, oh, you had the hot girl in love. You were playing her the whole time. Yes, brother. That's how we treat these women, like dogs. They get nothing from us. Sorry, that's just how the men were acting. It's only we're acting on Twitter. It's just, I try not to call everything, because I think it's offensive to actual gay LGBTQ plus people, because gay is not an insult. But when you look at the patriarchy, I'm like, yo, none of this seems sus to any of you, that you love man so much, you love man opinion so much that you allow it to influence your behavior. I'm just saying. When you look at how different women within the industry in general, this happens in real life as well, but let's use the industry as an example. When you look at the way that different women are treated within the industry for very similar behavior, the pattern becomes extremely clear. Women like Kim Kardashian and Taylor Swift both have highly visible dating lives, highly visible. And while there has been criticism at times, the dominant narrative remains. They are desirable, they are soft, they are beautiful, and they are desired. their dating history isn't constantly used to discredit them. Kim K is to a certain extent, but that hasn't stopped her. When her and Kanye West got divorced, you didn't see everyone. There were a few. I'm not taking that away, but it wasn't like this. They hated her. They did, because for some reason there's a lot of misogyny rife in the world at the moment, just from beginning time, for whatever reason. But it is nowhere near the amount as to it is with Megan Thee Stallion. Taylor Swift dates, bruv. She's had multiple partners. But Taylor Swift presents as very soft, very feminine, very small, very childlike. She doesn't sing about sex. She sings about love. All these people, these men that she was with, she just loved them. And that changes the way also, that changes the way that people perceive her. She is not seen as a sexual being. She is seen as that country little white girl that's so nice and sweet. And, you know, Ariana Grande, same shit, bro. Nobody's calling Ariana Grande names or saying that she's up. But, you know, like, but Megan, that's what they're doing. Lori Harvey, that's what they're doing. And even Kim K, she's a bit on the darker side compared to Taylor Swift. She gets much more hate than Taylor Swift. But however, the darker the berry, the more hate. The darker the berry, the more hate seems to come. The more slander and more slut-shaming language seems to come through the veil. With Black women, the framing is often a lot harsher, a lot faster, a lot harsher, and it sticks a lot. It sticks. Dating becomes passed around. Having the choice to choose your partner becomes a lack of value and ran through. And visibility becomes justification for disrespect. As I said earlier, it's the same thing with Lori Harvey. Dating selectively, moving on when something doesn't align. Behaviors that are often normalized and praised in the real world or other contexts become used as evidence against her as a person, her character, suddenly she's a whore. Why does the same behavior get interpreted as empowerment in one case and as something to be diminished, as a justification to disrespect a person in one? So all men were created equal, but we are not all treated equally. The way that you look can completely change due to a specific person's biases. The way that you look and the way that you present in this world can completely change the way that people, the perception of you, the things that they assume about you and your character, just based off of the way you look and a few small details that you've taken from your life. The small, soft, fragile, young, even though she's nearly like 40, I swear she's nearly 40, the girl who sings about love, who's dated all these people, she's the lover girl. She's soft, she's sweet, she's sexless, she's just a girl in love. Megan Thee Stallion, with all that body, with all that stallion, Black, loud and proud about her exploits, empowered and liberated. She's talking about fucking and sucking. Suddenly she's a hoe for displaying the exact same behaviors. It's just she speaks out about what she does behind closed doors, whereas Taylor Swift is marketed in a completely different direction. That's another video for another time, isn't it? The world is all about perception and bias. Only some people are allowed to exist freely without having their value questioned for it. Without having their value questioned because of it. And so when you step back from all of this, there is a deeper psychological pattern underneath it. Because this isn't just about one relationship, it's about what gets reinforced around relationships. Because patriarchy, a lot of men, confirmation, a lot of men aren't primarily validated by women. They're validated by other men. And that shapes behavior much more than people realize, much more than men themselves even will realize, which pisses me off, because you need to be aware about the things that are influencing you and why, bitch. You need to. Or else you go out fucking up your life and doing stupid shit for the validation of other people who aren't you and don't live your life. Doesn't make sense, does it? It doesn't. Within the structure of patriarchy, status isn't just about what you have. It's about where you sit in comparison to other men, how you're perceived, how you're ranked, whether you are seen as dominant, in control, and /or respected. So when a man is with a woman, like Megan Thee Stallion, there is an immediate external benefit. That is a high value woman. And I say high value because, you know, I don't know about that, but she is a high value woman. She is successful. She is independent. She is beautiful. She has a body to die for. She seems very loving, very nurturing, very caring. And all now, he ain't come out with nothing and no receipts. Maybe he has them, he doesn't want to share them. I don't know. I don't care. The way that he seems to be, I feel like he would have. She seems to be very nurturing, she seems to be the whole package.
The Lakers, and I say, Clay, why you didn't tell me your daddy was coming to town? Got me here knocking over stuff. Let me hurry up and cook something, because how he gonna come to the South and I don't show him no Southern hospitality? So then after that, I was like, what do I got in this kitchen to cook? So I pulled out some chicken thighs. I had some stuff for baked beans. I had some stuff for cornbread. I had a little potato salad. Dang, babe, you just about to go up the street. Let me cook. Okay, so anyways, yeah, I had some stuff for chicken thighs. I had some stuff for baked beans. Checking on my baked beans. Mr. Thompson had never had boudin before, y'all, so I had to put him on the boudin. I'm pretty sure he really, really liked it. You know, he Bahamian. Bahamians love that good rice, and approved.
And one was she rich? What's the problem? That's the problem. There's the external benefit of her visibility, her desirability, her success, and her popularity. And being chosen by someone like that can elevate how he is seen. That's an immediate ego boost. But at the same time, there's an internal process that is happening underneath the surface that people cannot register or recognize. Because proximity creates comparison automatically. So it becomes not just, I have her, but what does it mean when I'm next to her? A lot of people didn't know who he was. Yes, he is famous in his own right. He is successful in his own right. But Meghan's popularity is global, worldwide. He is more so famous in America and the places that watch basketball, which are obviously big, but it's not the same thing as global. Like, the niggas in Tokyo know Megan Thee Stallion. Like, so then it becomes, am I leading? Am I equal? Or am I being measured against her? Now, if you take into consideration the fact that a lot of men, at first the narrative was, yuck, look at this simp looking after this woman. Look at this little bitch, oh, he loves his gal, and I'm sure people ran with that narrative. I'm sure it affected his everyday life. People in his probably in his basketball team, look at you, you and your girl, Megan, how's Megan?
How have you balanced this summer for you, and more importantly, how has your relationship made you better as a man on and off the floor, and how that's going to move forward for you as far as your career?
My relationship with
Megan Thee Stallion.
I'm not going to talk about that.
And if you're not secure within yourself and you care about outside validation, that can start to erode your self-confidence and self-esteem, especially if you feel as though other men are not taking you serious in this patriarchal society. And if she's highly visible, highly confident, highly successful, that comparison, people making jokes, talking about how they didn't know who he was until she came along, yada, yada, yada. that can cause discomfort. Not because of anything that she's doing wrong, but she becomes a mirror. It's because of what she reflects. Although in the beginning he may have admired her, looked up to her, loved her, adored her, that can quietly turn into, that kind of level of success and fame and comparison can quietly turn into silent competition, especially if you are insecure. You are a man who cares a lot about the patriarchy and what other men believe and think about you, more than what you know to be true about yourself. And a lot of people do not like the idea of playing a side character in someone else's story. When your girlfriend is that successful, that rich, that famous, and it seems like people are drawn to her, that magnetic, she's that loved, you can kind of feel like the side character in your own story. And if he began to feel like a side character within his own story, that may cause him to start to lash out. Cheating is one of the best ways to diminish a person's confidence. I'm just saying. It becomes less about appreciating her and more about rebalancing how he feels next to and around her. And that is where behavior starts to subtly change, not always consciously, most of the time it's unconscious. Affection starts to become inconsistent. Validation becomes more selective. And there are moments of distance that don't quite match the situation. Because creating emotional instability, making someone who is so confident, so successful, so big, feel small, can actually rebalance and reduce that internal pressure. I must be someone special. They don't know, but I am special because look how I have the old gal on her knees right now, all broke up over me. See? She's just a person. She's just, she ain't nothing special. It's to rebalance that, to make himself feel bigger, to increase the ego. It sounds, but it's true. A lot of people do this unconsciously. That's just the reason behind that behavior. Of course, I'm not a licensed psychologist or therapist, and I was not there in the relationship. This is just theory again. But we're just using this as an example to break down how a high value woman can end up diminished and why men will diminish a high value woman that brings nothing but love and joy and happiness and success and good fortune to their life. Because again, I'm sure his popularity raised up, man, you're making more money. Now niggas don't want to fuck with you because you cheated on Megan Thee Stallion. Why you do that? His behavior lowers her slightly, so he doesn't feel as though he has to rise to meet her. And then there's the social layer on top of that. If other men are reinforcing and praising this terrible behavior, praising his detachment, mocking his outward displays of love and affection and care for her, rewarding control over connection, that becomes the standard he's responding to. So even if the relationship itself is healthy or has the potential to be healthy, there's that external pressure that's pulling it in a completely different direction. Because now it's not just, how do I show up in this relationship? It's, how do I show up in this relationship in a way that keeps my status intact with other men? You don't think that's strange? Putting other man's thoughts and feelings above your own thoughts and feelings about how you feel for one particular woman? You don't think that's... Anyway, alright. If those two things conflict, a lot of men will choose the one that protects their position in that hierarchy, i.e. cheating, mistreating women, treating women like objects, distancing themselves from women emotionally instead of opening up for connection, because that's not cool. You think you're gonna die with your brethrens? What, you think your brethrens are, you're gonna get to your old age and your brethrens are gonna love you? And this is what I'm saying. Do you have to sleep with your brethrens? Are you intimate with your brethren? I don't get it. I don't get it. But I have my own mind, so. But that is why you see someone publicly admire a woman while subtly undermining her privately. And it's not because the admiration wasn't real, but the insecurity it triggered was stronger. And this is when that internal shift starts to become very visible. Not in loud and obvious ways, but in small, repeated behaviors that change the complete tone and dynamic of the relationship, i.e. talking about you're cheating, you've been caught cheating, your girl's like, you cheating on me, talking about, actually, babe, I think I want to open this relationship up. Have you lost your mind? He really thought he had her. My brother, you should have been crying on your knees. I'm begging. Should have been begging. Oh, Megan, please. I'm sorry. I'm saying these men, being with a high value woman, in my opinion, from what I've seen and experienced my damn self, it boosts up their head so much that they really think that, yeah, I've got her, she loves me, I can do whatever I want, she's just gonna go with it, bro. No, it don't work like that. You're delusional. Been on his knees begging, bro. Talking about, I want to open up this relationship. That's how you lost. You're dumb. You should go on your knees, started begging straight away, started begging and pleading and crying and just, I'm so sorry, I'm an idiot. I'm gonna see the lady, I'm gonna get help. Like something, bitch. You talking about, oh, let's open up this relationship. So that pissed me off when I heard that shit, because what are you talking about? You really thought that was gonna work? That shift in energy, the emotional distance, the being moody during basketball season, the cheating, and then asking to open up the relationship, it creates a very different experience from intentional, loving, focused on growth, focused on building something. You know, it's two very different energies. They don't coincide. You gotta pick one. And so now, instead of feeling secure within her connection, she begins adjusting. She begins walking on eggshells. She begins making herself smaller because, oh no, it's moody, it's basketball season. Let me not show up as my usual bubbly self because I don't want to annoy him, I don't want to piss him off, yada yada yada. Oh, he's going through something. Let me dim myself down and take on his stress and carry it with, bitch. No, we ain't got time for that, bro. No. Word of advice, a man sad, down, agitated, he taking it out on you. Leave that bitch where he's at. Tell him go see someone. Go speak to someone. Go speak to a professional, because you're not the professional. You're there to love and spend time with him. The love and the nurturing, only if it is reciprocated. As soon as it starts being reciprocated, you're wasting your time. Get out of there, because what is the point? Megan would have to begin to pay attention to changes, try to understand the emotional shifts, and brace for which version of him she's going to get. The relationship moves from something that she can exist in to something that she has to navigate. And that navigation, it comes at a cost. Confidence doesn't drop all at once. It is worn down gradually over time, through inconsistency, through withdrawal, through betrayal. Megan doesn't have any family left, any immediate family left. I'm sure she loved that man and saw him as her family. I'm sure she thought about building her family with him. I'm sure she thought of his mum and dad as her mum and dad, as her family, or wanted them to be. So him cheating on her would have been a huge betrayal and very crushing. To me, that seems like someone who's trying to diminish your confidence. That's what I believe cheating can be really down to, trying to diminish your confidence. If it does have anything to do with you, it's because your partner is insecure and may want to diminish your confidence. Not in every scenario, but in this one, perhaps, again, wasn't there. This is just a theory. This is just a psychological breakdown based off a theory of what the relationship could have been. Many people really do live like this. And this doesn't always register as obvious mistreatment. It can be explained away as stress, as a bad period, as mood swings, as external pressure. But the outcome is the same, because instead of being fully met within the relationship, she's being adjusted into a position where she has to accommodate the shift. When you look at all of this together, the pattern becomes much clearer. A high value woman does not guarantee emotional safety. Anyone can be cheated on, anyone can be mistreated. A high value woman, someone who is successful, smart, capable, independent, strong-willed, strong-minded, confident, beautiful, a triple threat, someone who has everything and anything, and all you could add to their life is to genuinely love them. That kind of presence may expose things that just would not have surfaced otherwise. Because it's not just about if a man can attract a woman like Megan Thee Stallion, it's about whether he can exist next to her without turning it into a competition, without turning it into comparison. In a patriarchal society, the man is the breadwinner. It's all about the man. The wife cooks, she cleans, she looks after the kids, she looks after the household. She doesn't make more money than the man. That's just not how it goes in this patriarchal bullshit society, right? The man is supposed to be looked at as the leader, and the leader makes the most money, the leader directs the decisions.
I want to make it very clear. I'm just using that as a general example. Klay Thompson makes more money than Megan Thee Stallion. I don't think I put that in this video. Obviously, I don't know if it's obvious. People don't know how much NBA players make, but he's got like $150 million contract or some bullshit like that. And her net worth is around I think it's like 50 or 40 million. I'm sorry, I might be wrong. But he makes the most money. But it's not even about all just the money. It's about perception. Does it look like she's leading? Does he look like a little bitch for loving his gal? That's the problem, bruv.
You have an independent, successful, beautiful, alluring, magnetic woman who could have any man she wants and anything in the world. She has the money, she can buy it her damn self. And you are a basketball player who is successful again in your own right, but just nowhere near, realistically, just nowhere near at the same level of success as your partner. That can bring things up. It can bring up the need or the desire or the want to control or the want to diminish, the want to distance himself in order to stay comfortable, in order to keep his identity as the strong patriarchal man intact. I bet the woman that he was cheating on her with were not anywhere near her level. They were probably normal women fans or women with less celebrity than him. If you catch my drift. Less celebrity than her, less celebrity than him. A woman that made him feel within his role, like a man. Aha. But that's where a lot of these dynamics break down. Not in the beginning, but in what gets triggered over time. Because men don't struggle with admiring a woman like Megan Thee Stallion. They struggle with maintaining a sense of self alongside her. And if someone's sense of identity is tied to control or external validation, especially the validation of patriarchal men and hierarchy, that connection becomes much more harder to sustain. So the main issue wasn't, was she enough? What did she do wrong? The issue was that the dynamic required him to confront something within himself that he just was not equipped to handle.
I'm still pissed Klay Thompson apologized for being late to picking up Megan Thee Stallion from the airport. This nigga was, oh, shucks, babe. Oh, shucks, babe. I'm sorry for being late. Nah, they want you to be soft like that.
Years ago, a lady said to me, men don't actually like women. I said, huh? She said, men, specifically straight men, don't actually like women. I said, what do you mean exactly? She said, they like the benefits of being with women, yes. And not even just the parts of it. They like the benefits that they get from society, that they get from their homies, depending on how she look. They also like the benefits that they get around the house if they are living together. But actually liking women as human beings, no, they don't. Year after year, since she told me that, y'all have shown me that she was right. Because what do you mean you want to apologize if you was late picking up your lady from the airport? What do you mean you want to apologize for being late to the lady that you're with, the lady that you like, the lady that you love? What do you mean they want us soft like that? Apologizing to the lady in whom you are in a relationship or marriage with, that's soft? Even if it is soft, you niggas ain't soft with the ladies that you're with? What are we doing? What are y'all niggas doing? Slapboxing? There's no way that you are that afraid of being called a simp. But also, there was this.
We lost him, y'all. We lost it. We lost. She got him whipped right around her finger, boy.
What do you mean we? Who is we? And lost him how? Lost him to what? His girlfriend? Lost him from what? What? Oh. All right, look. There comes a time when you like someone, right? And you really want them to like you as much as you like them. You want to share your life in some way with them. You envision this future with them. And that's okay. That's understandable. But
Klay Thompson was never going to choose you, bro.
it's okay. Hey, it's okay. He was never going to choose you. In the meantime, y'all be good.
And that's the part that people don't really sit with. Sometimes a relationship doesn't fall apart because one partner wasn't enough. Sometimes the relationship falls apart because being with a partner who is self-sustaining, self-confident, self-loving, self-motivated requires a level of emotional awareness, of emotional stability and self-awareness that they just haven't developed yet. And instead of growing into that space, a person can move away from it. Not always out of cruelty, sometimes just out of the discomfort of who he becomes when he is next to her. And that, in my opinion, is what people miss when they only look at the surface of what ended. Thank you very much for watching my YouTube video. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube video. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow along because I've got like a bunch of content lined up for you. We're back to our weekly uploads. I don't know if I ever did weekly uploads, but that's the schedule. Every Sunday, 7 p.m. I'll be here. So be there or be square because you won't be around. Thank you so much. These take ages to make and I spend a lot of time on them. So please like and follow and subscribe. Yeah, something like that. Sorry, it's late. Bye.